Namaste, my loves. Welcome to the mat. So for those who don't know me, my name is Bethany and I am the Yogi Witch. And thank you for meeting me here on the mat today to celebrate the beautiful full moon with this chakra aligning yoga flow. So in today's flow, we are going to move with mindfulness, being very aware of how we feel both physically and emotionally, taking a look at opening up our hips, opening up our heart, and realigning all the chakras to feel a sense of empowerment, feel a sense of magic and inspiration, all the while honouring, of course, Mother Moon. So for today's flow, you don't necessarily need any props, but of course, you grab anything that'll make your practice comfortable. And when you're ready, my darlings, I will meet you back here in just a moment so we can get started. Okay, so to begin today's yoga flow, you're going to come straight away to either a seated pose or into a hero's pose towards the back of your mat. And getting yourself comfortable, we simply roll back the shoulders and we're going to flip those palms up towards the sky. So start to draw in the energy of the full moon. As we begin today's class with a beautiful deep inhale. As we begin today's class together with a beautiful inhale. And a slow exhale all the way out. So I forgot to mention that we are currently in the middle of a massive storm here in Wales. It hasn't stopped raining or like horrendous winds for like 3 days now. So if you do hear a little bit of the weather in the background, I'm so sorry. It's Wales. It's Wales. Anyway, so bringing our mind to the mat today. And before we go any deeper with the flow, you're going to take a moment to acknowledge the fact that you came to the mat and be proud of yourself for doing so. We all come here for different reasons, maybe for emotional reasons, physical reasons, or tonight you might come here for spiritual reasons. But it doesn't matter, it just means that we're dedicating time to us, to taking care of our body, but more importantly than anything else, we're taking care of our mind. So in this moment, acknowledge the fact you're here and be proud of yourselves. Just starting to steady out our breath, feeling every inhale, feeling every exhale. Recognizing if our breath is stuck just in the top of the lungs, or if we're able to push past almost a barrier in that diaphragm to get it all the way to the base of the belly, feeling that belly rise and feeling that belly fall. And let's begin to release any kind of stagnant energy that we have within us, any kind of negativity that may be been following us around with 3 shoulder drops. So on your inhale, we're going to draw these shoulders all the way up to the ears, squeezing nice and tight. On your exhale, drop them all the way down. 2 more times. Inhale and exhale. Final time, we inhale and exhale. If those eyes are closed, just going to blink them open and roll first into a tabletop position before we tuck those toes under, bend the knees and we make our way to the back of the mat in a ragdoll. So we're going to have a nice generous bend in the knees now, walking the feet a little bit wider than the hips width apart as we find the elbows and just let the head hang heavy. Releasing any tension in the upper part of the body as we begin to take some gentle sways from side to side. Remembering that you can modify this forward fold to your practice. So if you want to stretch the legs, you keep them straight. If you want to stretch the back, you bend them here. So choosing whatever your body is craving today. Remember, only you know how you feel. Before we release those fingertips to the shins, inhale to gaze forward and straighten that back. Exhale, we bend the knees, roll the body all the way up to standing. Arms come overhead in a full body stretch. And then release the hands to heart center in the prayer position, and we're simply going to take a few steps to make our way to the top of the mat this time. So claiming our space on the mat, starting to feel a sense of empowerment before we call on Mother Moon. So in your Tandasana or your mountain position, feet are about hips width apart, roll back the shoulders, keep the hands in prayer at the center of your chest. Those thumbs can touch your sternum. Taking a moment here to connect with the earth beneath you. Feeling all those chakras aligned. And then when you're ready, we call upon Mother Moon, asking her to bring us strength, to bring us wisdom, and to bring us power during this full moon phase, to keep us safe, to keep us protected, and to keep us connected with her at all times. Gently releasing the chin to the chest to take a bow. Before we work through 2 rounds of Surya Namaskara, a little modified version here. So when you're ready, we inhale, my loves, to take those arms all the way overhead in prayer. Gaze up at the thumbs to open the throat. On your exhale, we bend the knees and forward fold. Inhale to gaze forward and straighten that back. On your exhale, we plant the hands down and we step back with the left leg, lowering the knee to the mat and untucking those toes. On your inhale, sweep those hands together in prayer. Gaze once more up at the thumbs. And then exhale, frame the front foot. We lift that back knee up and step towards the top of the mat. Inhale to gaze forwards. Exhale, let's take it to the other side. Plant the hands down, step back with the right knee, lower it all the way down. Inhale, gaze up towards the thumb, moon salute. Exhale, frame this front foot, bring both knees to touch, and maybe for the first round, you take your vinyasa knees down, or if you feel alright, you can come to your plank. But wherever you're coming from, move over those wrists, bend those elbows close to the chest as you lower all the way down. Inhale, we find our way to upward dog. Exhale, bend those knees, tuck those toes, briefly coming back into our down dog. Before we gaze towards the top of the mat, taking maybe one big step to bring ourselves forwards. Inhale, gaze forward, straighten that back. Yes, exhale, bend those knees, roll the body all the way up to standing. Arms come overhead in prayer. And then back to heart center, giving ourselves a moment in our Tandasana. So start to feel that heat from these modified sun salutations. Start to feel a little bit of movement in the body, starting to find that space. So we're going to take this moon salute just 1 more time before we come into the flow a little bit more. When you're ready, inhale, those hands come all the way to the sky, gaze at the thumbs. Exhale to bend the knees and forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, just straighten that back. Exhale, plant the hands down, step back with the left leg, lower the knee, untucking those toes. As we inhale, take the arm to the sky, gaze at the thumbs. Exhale, frame the front foot. Let's lift all the way back up as we find our way back to the top of the mat. Inhale, gaze forward, just straighten that back. Exhale, plant the hands down, step back with the right leg, lower the knee to the mat. Inhale, moon salute, gaze all the way up to the thumbs, open up the throat. And then exhale to frame the front foot. This time, maybe you choose to step all the way to the plank if you're feeling all right, or you can drop those knees, but taking your chosen vinyasa. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, we make our way back to our down dog here and start to pedal out those legs. So bending one knee, bending another, really pushing those heels towards the mat. Wiggling those hips, nodding the head yes, shaking it no, anything that feels good to you. And we're going to come to a 5 breath hold in our down dog. So bringing that last rib in, soften those knees to push those hip bones higher. We hold it here for 5. For 4. 3. 2. Yes, on your 1, gaze between the thumbs. Maybe taking one big step, maybe taking a couple little steps. But this time as we inhale, we're going to halfway lift. So start to open up that heart chakra, gaze forward, just straighten that back. On your exhale, we bend those knees, hands plant to the mat, and we're going to lift the left leg all the way to the sky, finding our way to a standing split. So having a slight bend in the right knee, just to build that strength. You can begin to forward fold, holding here for a few breaths. Beautiful, my loves. Point those toes, take a little bit higher. As we inhale, exhale, step back with the left foot and find your way to your high lunge. If high lunge is not available today, then lower that back knee. When you're ready, we inhale, arms come all the way to the sky. On your exhale, we're going to move to our twisted warrior. Whoop! So this right hand floats behind the back to touch the back of the left leg. Left arm reaches all the way overhead, holding here for 5, for 4, yes, for 3, for 2, you've got it. And for 1, keeping this twist in the body, hands come to prayer, and we hook left elbow, right knee, find our way to our prayer twist. Beautiful movements. Feel that energy, that magic, the fire that you're creating in your practice right now, my loves. Remember, we're honouring this full moon, So find that power as we inhale. Exhale, hands come to frame the front foot, but this time the right hand comes to the inside of this right foot, fighting that urge to pivot that back foot just yet. We stay on those tippy toes. Lift the left arm all the way to the sky, open twist. It's a difficult little position, so modify as much as you need. Holding for 3, for 2, on your 1 with control, pivot that back foot so it comes parallel with the back of the mat, and we engage this core, roll straight away, adjust your leggings to that reverse warrior. Right arm floats all the way overhead, shuffling those legs as much as you need. One of my favorite transitions, my darlings. As we inhale, exhale, warrior two. Finding that empowerment. If you want to increase it, then maybe you flex those hands here, pushing away any negativity, anything we don't need. Remember, this is our sacred space on the mat. So clear your energy. Holding 5, 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. Windmill the hands to frame that front foot. Pivot on those back toes. Left hand stays down, right hand comes all the way to the sky, and straight away we're going to lower the back knee down, wiggling the right foot to the edge of our mat. And maybe if it's available today, you can make your way into a bound lizard, opening up that spine. Keeping that breath nice and steady, you've got it. Inhale. Yes, exhale, lower the back knee down. Both hands come to the mat, and let's find our way into our plank, making our way through our vinyasa. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, bend the knees, tuck those toes, down dog. If you need to take a rest here, you're welcome to drop those knees to tabletop or a child's pose. But staying here for 5 breaths, in through the nose and out through the nose. For 5, 4, 3, 2, beautiful, and 1. Let's gaze between the thumbs. Walking, stepping, jumping your way any way you want to get here. You step your way to the top of the mat. Remember, we sweep the arms by the side this time. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands to the mat, and we're going to lift the right leg to the sky this time, making our way to our standing split on the other side. So having a slight bend in that left knee creates strength. As we inhale, exhale, step back with the right toes, and we find our way into our low lunge. Remember, if high lunge isn't available today, drop the back knee. But on your inhale, sweep those arms all the way to the sky, bend into that front knee. And then with control, let's make our way to twisted warrior. Left hand touches the back of the right leg. Right arm floats all the way overhead. You can take the gaze up, or if it causes too much tension for the neck, take it down. 3 more breaths for 3. For 2. Yes, you've got it. For 1. Hands come to heart center in prayer. And then let's find this prayer twist. Hook, right elbow, left knee. Taking your gaze towards the back of the mat. Hold it for 3, 2, 1. Hands frame the front foot, and we're going to take the left hand to the inside of the left foot, moving to the open twist, fighting that urge to pivot on the back foot just yet. Stay on those tippy toes. As we inhale, gorgeous transition. Exhale, pivot that back foot, roll the body, front leg burning, to your reverse warrior, shuffling as much as you need to find the space. Holding 5, 4, 3, 2, yes, and 1. Release that body to warrior 2. Flex those hands, protect that space. Remember, we're harnessing the power of the full moon today. Use it to protect your space, keep you safe. 2, 2 more breaths. Feel that burn in the legs, embrace it. As we inhale, exhale, windmill the hands to frame the front foot. Pivoting on those back toes, right hand stays down, left arm comes to the sky. With control, we lower the back knee down. Gently walking the left foot to the outside of the mat and find our way to our bound lizard, opening up the spine for a couple of breaths. As we inhale, yes, my loves. Exhale with control, release this bound lizard, lift to plank, taking your vinyasa. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, bend the knees, tuck those toes, down dog. Remembering that if at any point down dog gets too much, drop those knees. This is your practice. Modify it as much as you want. But as we are honouring the full moon, we're harnessing its power. We're going to keep going in just 3 more breaths. So, for that reason, I'm going to take a break. So giving yourselves 3 more breaths wherever you are before we come into the last part of the flow, finding some space in the body, really kind of taking up our space in the world. 2 more breaths. And then when you're ready, if you're in any other resting pose besides down dog, let's meet back there. Getting ourselves comfortable for just a moment. Before our gaze floats between the hands, walking, stepping, jumping towards the top of the mat. Inhale, sweep the arms to the side, halfway lift. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands down. From here, we're going to lift the left leg all the way to the sky, but this time we're going to move to a sugar cane. So starting to take some weight into this right hand, we bend the left leg and let's start opening up the spine here, holding 5, 4, yes, 3, for 2, for 1, release the left leg, step back to a high lunge. So we inhale briefly, arms come all the way to the sky. On your exhale from here, we immediately come to a twist, so lower the left hand down, right hand stays to the sky. Now, depending how you feel, you might choose to come to that bound lizard by dropping the back knee down. Or you walk the right foot to the outside of your mat, pivot on those back toes, and let's send the left heel over to the left hand side, coming to a full body lizard. Keeping those hips lifted, hold 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lift to back onto those tippy toes. Both hands come down. From here, we're going to step the left foot outside of the left hand, wiggle those hips, and start to sit down into our yogic squat or amalasana pose. So remember, you can keep those heels up if it's too much today. Maybe you use those elbows to open up the knees a little bit more. But opening up the root chakra, opening up these hips. Taking a few breaths here. Feeling every inhale, every exhale, you got it. And then hands come to the mat. Lift the body back into our forward fold, exactly where we started. Let's take this flow to the other side. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands down. Lift the right leg up all the way to that standing split. And maybe you choose to stay here, or maybe you transition to that sugarcane pose. If you did my in bulk flow, you know that sugarcane is one of my favorite little back bends to play with. So holding here, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Step back, high lunge. Inhale, arms come all the way to the sky. Whoop. Exhale, let's make our way to our twist straight away. Right hand comes to the mat, left hand comes to the sky. You can choose to drop the back knee, bound lizard, or maybe you walk the left foot to the outside of the mat, send those right toes over to the right hand side and find a full body lizard stretch. Lifting those hips up, hold 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pivot back to just a classic lizard, and when you're ready, let's step right foot to the outside of the right hand. One more time, sit low into your malasana, your yogic squat. Maybe using those elbows. If it's too much today, then come to a ragdoll. Now holding 5 more breaths. As you inhale, exhale, hands come to the mat, lift these hip bones to the sky, wiggling those toes again back to where we started. On your inhale, one more time, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands down, step back one leg, step back another, final vinyasa. Push off from those tippy toes, lower all the way through. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, let's say goodbye to our down dog here, taking those hip bones up towards the sky. Taking any movements that you crave. Before we lower those knees to the mat, come to sit back on the heels, and we find our way into our starting position, which was either our hero's pose or a seated pose. So choosing anything that you like. Rolling back the shoulders. This time we flip those palms into the tops of those knees, the tops of those thighs. Starting to kind of keep all the energy that we've harnessed from the full moon within our space now. Using it to take on this next month with power, with inspiration, with strength. And we're just going to take a few moments just to become aware of how we're feeling, both physically, emotionally, even spiritually now. Sending our thanks out to Mother Moon for her protection, her power, and her constant inspiration in our life. And we're going to close the class today together as a collective coven with one final breath in and one final breath out. Bowing the chin to the chest with gratitude. Thanking ourselves for coming to the mat. for others, for joining together as a coven today to honor this full moon. And as always, from me to you, thanking you for allowing me to be your teacher. I really hope you enjoyed today's full moon flow, looking at aligning the chakras, looking at finding a bit of movement, finding a bit of space, opening up the hearts, opening up the hips, and just kind of dedicating time to our well-being. So if you're craving a Shavasana, you're welcome to come into a long Shavasana, maybe find my full moon meditation, which is also on my channel at the moment. But thanking you so much for joining me today to honor this beautiful full moon. Let me know how you got on in the comments below, and I look forward to seeing you on the mat again soon, my darlings. Blessed be.